For our final section, guys, we have lukewarm. So these are systems that have either already had sort of a popularity peak and are on their way down, or are just starting their popularity peak. There's three different systems we're going to mention to start with: Genesis, SNES, and Wii. The Wii we're just going to get out of the way now. We didn't pick any prices to look at for this because that's really just starting to get popular again. People are starting to pick up some Wii titles. A lot of their prices are still pretty low, so it's still a good time to get in on the ground floor for Wii as those prices continue to rise. But we want to start with the Genesis, Wes, our beloved Sega Genesis that both you and I grew up with. This was our 16-bit console of choice.
Yes, it was.
What game did you pick for Genesis?
I picked Earthworm Jim.
Classic.
It was classic. Just seeing the animation and the colors when we first turned it on was phenomenal.
The weirdness. The game was so damn weird, Wes. I love it so much for that.
Definitely, definitely. But Earthworm Jim loose, the cartridge is going to run you $20. Complete in box, you're looking at 55, and sealed 263. It peaked. Well, we're recording this in November of
Yes.
2024. It peaked last month in October 2024 at $70 for complete in box. So it only dipped $20,
15.
$15, $15.
Yeah. Oh, no, is it 20?
So,
No, wait. 50? 50 is 20. Yeah, 15.
mhm.
That's how you math.
And it's like you said, the Genesis is our beloved system. There's always a consistent interest in in the Genesis, no
I
matter where you
agree.
go.
And I think the same thing is going to fall with SNES. Like,
Hmm.
there's always like every system has a floor, and I feel like the floor for SNES and Genesis is fairly higher than even the NES.
I agree. I agree.
So these systems will continue to be popular, right? But they're
Hmm.
not. They're never going to have that boost like they did because all the people who got them 20 years, all the people who got them 20 years later
Hmm.
already got them years ago at this point. So their popularity is waning, but there is like a stabilization. Like this is the floor. This is how popular these are always going to be. But to see them be front and center again, I don't think that's ever going to happen. I doubt it.
I doubt it. I doubt it too. But as long as there's still an interest, it's nice to see.
For sure.
What did you pick for the Genesis?
Good old Sonic and Knuckles, Wes. I picked this for a couple reasons. A, it's a Sonic game. B, it's kind of an oddball Sonic game. It's not Sonic 2, which most people think of as Sonic 1. Um, this and Sonic 3 are definitely the more odd ones for the system. This had that weird flap that you could open up and then throw Sonic
Hmm.
3 on it. It would give you more levels and stuff. It was very interesting. But it was also a cardboard case. So
Hmm.
that can affect the price quite a bit, especially because most Genesis games, had the plastic clamshells. Sonic and Knuckles Loose is $24 currently. Complete in box 55. Sealed $500. In June of 2022, the complete in box was peaked and it was $109. Lost 50% of its value in 2 years.
Hmm.
Now, you could say to yourself, why is that happening? And I'm going to give you the answer. It's not 100% sure, but Sonic 2 came out, Wes, and Knuckles was in it. And that's probably why it peaked so damn high. Pretty
That,
confident in that.
did that movie come out in 2022? No, 2023.
Uh, Either way, the marketing would have been there at the time. So
Yeah.
the rise for Knuckles was up, right? And that was
Mhm.
like, it was Sonic and Knuckles. It would make sense that
Yeah.
that would be on the rise.
No, I wonder when the new movie comes out, is that gonna bring that price back up?
Probably not. Shadow is the new character. You're going to see all the Shadow games peaking, would be my suspicion.
Yeah, but Knuckles is still in it, and he was popular enough to get his own spin-off show.
That's true. That's not doing very good. And to my point, April 8th, 2022 is when Sonic 2 came out. So right there.
Hmm. Okay.
When was the month? June? Yeah. Look at that. April, 3 months later, it peaked.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I have a feeling it had to do with that movie. SNES is next, West. And I'll go first. I'll bring out this because I can't act like I care about the other thing. I'll talk about Beavis and Butthead because I don't care about the next one whatsoever. Beavis and Butthead is a different version than the Genesis version. The Genesis version is superior, just so you guys know. This one's not bad, but it's not the Genesis version. It's $17 loose for the SNES Beavis and Butthead. Complete in box, $85, and a sealed one will set you back $363 currently in November of 2024. Its peak for complete in box was in August of 2024. $88. So it's only a $3 difference. Again, not a surprise, right? It's only a couple months ago. Um, but interesting to see that complete in box copy is more or less overall on the rise.
$3. I mean, it's on the NES. So it's just like the Genesis. There's always going to be that level of interest.
It being a
Yeah.
license helps it too.
Yeah. Beavis and Butthead. Oh man, I remember when that game came out because the show was like super popular
Oh yeah. I
at the
used to
time.
I didn't have cable as a kid growing up, not
Mm.
till like later in high school. And I was in like middle school when Beavis and Butthead was out. I would go to my grandmother's house just so I could watch Beavis and Butthead. Every time my dad would go, like, "Oh yeah, I'll go. Let me watch Beavis and Butthead."
Now, are you watching the new series, the new
I
episodes?
have watched a few of them. Still good. Still good. They
Really?
still got it, man. Mike Judge
Okay.
knows what he's doing.
Okay. Without the videos, though.
They no, they have some. It's they made it modern, Wes. It's really interesting how they did it. So instead of just watching MTV, they're watching like the internet, like YouTube,
Hmm.
right? So sometimes they're watching like like a TikTok or like a YouTube video, and then sometimes they're watching like a music video because you can watch music videos on YouTube. So it's still like it's the same idea, and like
Okay.
maybe in an episode they watch like one YouTube video and they watch like
Hmm.
one music video. So they've managed to make it like still kind of modern.
Okay. I guess I have to check it out. I've been meaning to kind of put it on my watch list, but I haven't yet. So.
There's like a Post Malone one they cover, and they're just like ripping into him for like half the time. I was like, oh, this is hilarious. Yeah, I would recommend watching them. Is it
Okay.
the best show you're ever gonna watch? No.
No.
Does it feel like Beavis and Butthead? Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. Now, did you like the game?
The Genesis version, absolutely.
Okay.
SNES, I know a little bit about it. I I had a Genesis growing up. The Genesis was the one I loved. I did play the hell out of that game. I love that game.
Okay.
Did you play the Genesis or SNES versions?
I did the NES version. It was fun. It was side scrolling platform with Beavis and Butthead
There you go.
with some of the humor.
Yeah, the humor's great. And then next up, go ahead. I don't want to even talk about it. I have so little interest in this series.
Really?
I don't
See,
care at
I
all.
was I was kind of forced to take an interest in it because my son um, loved the Power Rangers.
Well, that would make sense. That's understandable.
Yeah, so I kind of watched it with him. So I kind of have a soft spot for the Power Rangers. So they did a game, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie for Super Nintendo. And surprisingly, this game is on the pricier side. A loose cartridge is $52. A complete in box is $225.
Hmm, that is
And
surprising.
it is, and then the a sealed one is $720. But it peaked in March 2023. A complete in box then was $270. So you figure it lost 40, $45 in a little over a year and a half. which is not crazy, but it's still on the pricier side of Super Nintendo games.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I couldn't tell you why. I usually like to guess. I have no idea
Mhm.
why it dropped. I think they did. I don't know. I guess that's a series. They're like, oh, I feel like it's like Ninja Turtles. They're just always rebooting that series. So I have no idea what the hell's happening with it. They might have just rebooted it that year or something, and
Mhm.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know, but I mean, still, like today, it's $225 for a complete box. Like, why?
Yeah.
Is it is it because I mean, I know one of the guys, Jason David Frank, who's the White Ranger, who's prominent on the cover, died. Um,
Oh, yeah. I wonder if that does have something to do with it.
so I wonder if that's keeping the price high.
Hmm.
But it's yeah, it's one of the oddities that still maintains a stable price. I haven't seen it drop below 200.
Yeah, I don't. It's likely a good game. I'd imagine if it's that price, it's probably something people want to actually
It was
play.
it was okay. It was a side-scrolling beat 'em up, like a la Final Fight.
That's what you would expect, I think, out of most
Hmm.
like Power Rangers games are probably like the. Recently, I watched a video on the one for N64, and oh my god, Wes, whew,
Oh, that's right. It was, I think, Zio. I think it was
I have no idea, but I watched a video.
trash.
I don't know who did it.
Was it trash?
Oh, dude, it was all. It was like unbelievable. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I was like, this is like garbage level, like garbage, hot garbage. But yeah, I guess the Genesis one was probably significantly better. In fact, when I grew up, um, I was just a little too old for this. I was like, why do you guys like that? Like, I was like, the Ninja Turtles was so much cooler than these friggin' nerds. Like, but whatever. So I did play a game, and I ended up getting I think I got a copy for free. I have a
Hmm.
loose copy of one of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and it was fine. It was a fine game to play.
Hmm.
I don't care. It didn't make me care about the show. I don't care about the show.
Which one did you get? The one for Genesis?
It was a Genesis one, but I don't think it was the movie. I think it was just like Mighty
No.
Morphin Power Rangers or something like that.
Yeah, that's the one that came out on Genesis.
Yeah. So that's the one I got. And again, it was fine. It was a fine game.
It's side scrolling beat 'em up. That's all it was.
Now I'll tell you what I am interested in, just to make sure you guys know I'm 100% a hypocrite. 100%. Digital Eclipse makes amazing games, amazing, like some awesome stuff. They made Atari 50 collection. They
Hmm.
make these like documentary style series, but they're also making Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Revenge, which is a side scroller, and it looks awesome. I don't care about Mighty Morphin Power. I don't care about any of that. I just care that it looks awesome, like 2D pixel art, and it's a side scrolling beat 'em up. They could put any
Really?
name on that. If it's by Digital Eclipse, I'm in. I'm in. So definitely looking forward to that, and that's coming out within the next month. So
Really?
yeah, yeah, man.
Huh.
I'm telling you, Wes, Digital Eclipse makes awesome, awesome. I mean, you might already be aware, but if you're not aware, they make amazing stuff.
I may have to look into that one. Is it hand drawn 2D art?
I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to tell you wrong information, but it looks awesome. It looks really nice.
Okay. Because I know there was a fighter. I think it was Battle for the Grid that was a fighter, side scrolling fighter for Power Rangers, which was it wasn't bad. It actually was pretty good.
If I had to guess, it was hand drawn, like just from the videos and stuff that I've seen.
Mhm.
But I'm pulling from my memory from a few months ago.
Okay.
My memory's so bad.
So all this to say is that there are some good Power Rangers games out there.
Sure, sure. I just don't care about the Power Rangers themselves. I would be more likely to play their game and just be like, yeah, it's a good game.
Okay.
All right, so that brings us through our to our last part. We're going to mention just a few things. PS3 and 360. These systems are on the rise. Also at conventions this year, I'm sure you saw it too, Wes, but you can back me up or tell me I'm crazy. But maybe not so front and center, but in the front. PS3 and 360 stuff were at a lot of tables, like Like, hey, it's right here. Like you didn't have to go searching for it.
No, it was kind of like the DS, like the
It
Nintendo
was
DS
front and
stuff.
center.
It was front and center.
Okay.
It's front because it's cheap.
Yeah.
It's cheap.
Yeah. I
360
mean,
games are really cheap.
I feel like when I would go to a table, it was like DS, GBA, like boom, like right here, and then
Mhm.
like here or here was like 360 PS3. Like you did not have to walk around to look for those systems. Is that
Yeah,
kind of the same idea, more or
pretty
less?
much.
Okay.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah. Those systems are on the rise. They're continuing to rise. Stuff that you guys should look for. Wes has brought this up a bunch. 50 Cent, Blood in the Sand. I think that's like a $90 game, $80 game.
Yeah, you know what? That game has gotten a lot of buzz lately. When I say lately, I'm talking about within the past year.
Yeah, it was a
Um,
good game that didn't sell a lot, and
it didn't sell
it's
a lot.
licensed. It's not available to buy digitally.
It didn't sell a lot, but like right now, I mean, a complete in box, you're looking at about $75.
Okay.
Just a loose just for the CD, you're looking at 60.
Mhm.
It looked like it peaked. I'd say around March, April, May time frame. It was over $100.
Yeah.
So it's the yeah, that's one that a lot of people have been like looking for lately.
Yeah, a few other ones. Deadpool is up in price.
Hmm.
Marvel Ultimate Alliance Gold Edition, specifically the Gold Edition because it has DLC on the disc.
Hmm. Yep.
The Spider-Man Activision games have all kind of gone up in value. Um,
Still,
Still.
still.
Hmm. Lost Odyssey, which is an Xbox 360 exclusive. Blue Dragon. Blue Dragon's actually come down a little bit. Its peak was a little while ago. But the reason is, right, Xbox 360, Lost Odyssey, Blue Dragon, they're not really available anywhere else. You have to have an Xbox for
Hmm.
now until Xbox releases everything on PlayStation in 6 months from now, and then it won't matter.
I know. I know. Yeah,
That's
I
a
know.
whole other story.
Lost Odyssey, and Blue Dragon were 360 exclusives.
Hmm.
Um, and Blue Dragon was like touted as like the first RPG for the 360 when it was out.
Yeah. 3D Dot Game Hero. Unfortunately, that game also significantly that game peaked hard during the pandemic. Man, that game really jumped up in price. Now it's back down to earth. It's like a $40-$50 game now. But that's a cool Zelda like
Hmm.
for PlayStation. It was a PlayStation exclusive, made by Atlas. Made by Atlas, or at least published by them. Yeah, so that's just a roundup of some games you might want to look for PS3 and 360. You should have already been collecting for those systems, but if you haven't, there's still time. There's still cheap games on there that are collectible. But what you really need to start collecting for today is PS4 and Xbox One. You got to start getting on top of this stuff now. These games are probably the lowest they're ever going to be, I'd imagine. Right, Wes?
I agree, and with PS4 more so than Xbox, there's some titles that are pretty pricey.
There are some collectors have already identified ones that are
Hmm.
very collectible, like Godzilla on PS4 is
Hmm.
very
Yep.
expensive
Yeah,
already.
exactly.
Already. So if it's a $400 game today, I don't know what the price. I'm pulling that price out of my ass, by the way. But let's just say it's $400 today. Imagine how expensive that game is going to be in 15 years from now, when people start going back and buying games for PS4. That's going to be like $1,000 game probably if
Hmm.
it's $400 today.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was gonna bring that up. Yeah, Godzilla was one of the pricier ones.
Yeah, there's a handful like that. That Berserker. They made a Berserker game for it,
Hmm.
and that game is not even close to Godzilla, but it's like an $80 game right now at its bottom. So that game is probably going to turn into like a $200-$300 game.
Yeah, start getting your PS4 and Xbox One collection going because now's the time.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what happens with Xbox One because that was really when Xbox started pushing digital hard. Obviously, it's
Hmm.
like a lot harder now with Series X. I mean, they hardly have physical sections in stores at all now, but I don't know how collectible the Xbox version is. I'm going to be very curious to see. PlayStation I know is going to be collectible. Nintendo is like to what to what you said at this point almost an hour and a half ago probably. Nintendo is always going to be collectible. Your Switch games are always going to be collectible, and they're only going to go up in time. But
Mhm.
Xbox as the oddball man, I don't know what's going to happen with Xbox One games. I don't know if they're going to stay dirt cheap like the original Xbox, or if they're going to see that 20-year peak like Xbox 360 has.
Yeah, it's just they're the opposite of like Nintendo and Sony's, like where their systems stay relevant. It's original Xbox 360, Xbox One. It's like very little love, and it's so you can pick up games like really, really cheap,
But the
really cheap.
360 is seeing an increase where the
It
Xbox
is.
didn't. And I don't if you're going to ask me that question, that same question like is Xbox One going to have an increase? I don't think so, man. I
I
think
don't think
it's
so either.
just 360 and that's it.
But then why is that?
I mean, it was more popular at the time. It's the nostalgia, man.
Actually, it was. It was very popular. It won the console wars for that generation, hands down.
Yeah, it's the nostalgia. It's um it's the nostalgia. It had a bunch of exclusives.
Hmm.
Um that was people's place to play, man. It really was. They effed up so bad with Xbox One. It's not even funny. It's incredible how bad they dropped the ball, Wes. Like,
Look, they gave me Killer Instinct, so I can't be mad at them.
but to be beating PlayStation
Yeah,
and now they're like, who knows how they're going to exist in the future? Like, come
yeah,
on, what a fall from grace, man.
it is. It is. Like they were riding high on 360. They had the online gameplay for Xbox Live on lockdown.
Oh, for sure. What PS3's online was like a joke compared to Xbox 360.
You couldn't even touch it. They had so many developers, so many games, a good variety of games. A good originality
Japanese
was the
games.
thing.
They had Japanese games, Wes.
Yes, it was. They had so many good things on 360. I don't know what happened. I mean, they tried with Xbox One because they had their Dead Rising exclusive. They got their Killer Instinct. They had their share. They started off strong, I think, and then kind of petered out once PS4 hit. Though they couldn't touch them.
They made some key errors. And first of all, the system looked like crap. It looked like a giant VCR, which
It
is like,
did.
why is your system so hideous? First of all, that didn't help them. Then they had that awful E3 showing where they're like, oh, DRM and you know online all the time. You have to be connected to
Mhm.
the internet. No, dude, just an I can't even. I could probably go off for like 30 minutes on this, but I just feel like that was their biggest mistake, and they dug a hole that they have not been able to get themselves out of. Just no matter what they do. All right, guys. I guess we're gonna leave things there. So quick shout out to Buzzle. Again, buzzleshopping.com. You guys can go there for them sponsoring us and supporting us. Go to their website, download their app. There's exclusive deals you can get for shopping on there. They got awesome stuff. Patreon. If you guys like what you heard today, please consider supporting us over there. If you already do, thank you so much. You can support us for as little as $1 a month. There's ways you can get ad-free, exclusive, early access. All that stuff's available over on Patreon. Patreon.com/nerdenthusiast.
Also, if you like what you guys are hearing, please click that little button. Subscribe to our channel. Just helps us grow. We really appreciate it.
Right. Leave a comment. Give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify. Those also help us out greatly, and it's free. It doesn't cost you anything but a few moments of your time. Don't forget to check out our website too, guys, nerdenthusiast.com. We have blog posts and stuff over there from a variety of our creators. Additionally, this is not our main channel, so if you want to check out content on our main channel, it's youtube.com/nerdenthusiast. You can see all of our stuff over there. Remember, you get it early here, though, so make sure you're subscribed on this main channel. I just want to thank Wes for joining me today, sir. Thank you so much.
Of
Wes, if people
course.
if people want to follow you, where can they do so?
You can catch me on Instagram at Grendel5XBX.
You guys can follow me. My name is Matt, at from NJ2CA. The 2 is a number 2 over on Twitter or X or whatever you'd like to call it.
And you can also continue the conversation on our Discord channel.
That's right. There will be a link in the description, so check out our Discord as well. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. And until next time, you all take care.
Take care, guys.